Whoa. Right, there we go. I've got the chat up and running. Apologies for the lack of content over the last 2-3 weeks. It's been a whirlwind of everything, really. You know, life stuff, work stuff, school stuff, cycling stuff. It's unfortunately meant I've not been able to sort of prioritize YouTube. Very quickly. It'll be back up almost instantly. There we go. And we're back. Just have to turn off my VPN because otherwise I won't be able to see who else is in the ride. Hopefully you guys had a good start to your Easter holidays. Those of you that are in Easter holidays. Lots of kids out and about today. Ouch! I've messed up my hand, as you can see. There's chunks out of it everywhere, which is sort of making my hand position on the bike a little bit uncomfortable, but we will live. Live to fight another day, is that it? So basically, long story short, I'll do long story long in a minute, or short story long. I fell off my bike and I basically cycled like 30 kilometers home after falling off my bike. So yeah, it was not ideal. Had blood like dripping down my leg. I looked like I was in a right state, but 50k ride in the bag. I've been away from my Zwifting setup. I've been house sitting for my dad, who's been in the hospital. So I had to take my push bike, my Canyon, and get out there on the real roads. And yeah, had some good rides. Obviously, some not so fun rides, but according to Strava, I'm the fittest I've ever been. So, you know, something must be working. And my left shoulder is in a little bit of discomfort, I can't lie. I think where I fell off my bike, I put my hand down. How's it going, Chris? I put my hand down and that sort of, you know, jolted my shoulder up. And that's why it's damaged like my muscles around my shoulder, I think. Yeah, he'll be okay. He's a tough old boot. I'm just hoping he doesn't have to do like radiotherapy and all that stuff, because that is not fun for anyone. But yeah, I think we'll find out Friday whether he'll need radiotherapy. But at the minute he's just a bed rest at home. So luckily didn't damage your collarbone. Yeah, I know. We don't need another collarbone injury in this community. Obviously, Lee, that's what he was recovering from. It wasn't a bad crash. Unfortunately, I didn't have the GoPro on, so I didn't capture it. But basically, I went up a really big hill, about 110 meters of elevation, I think. And then when I got to the top, the wind just took the bike from out underneath me. So I just crested the hill, and just as you get to the top of this hill, all the trees just disappear and you're suddenly like on a barren hilltop. And yeah, big gust of wind just took the bike out from under me. And I sort of like just went down. Obviously my hand and my leg got the worst of it. But yeah, shoulder's just a bit sore, but some stretching will be fine. And yeah, the bike's fine. It's just the handlebar tape and the shifter has just had a bit, you know, few scratches, but it's not a problem. It's only cosmetic. But yeah, I was bleeding quite a lot. So I was at the top of this bloody hill. It was really windy, which meant it was freezing cold, and I was just piddling blood. Like, sorry if you don't like listening to stuff like this, then come back in a minute. But like, I don't know why, like these cuts are quite deep, especially that one. And yeah, there was quite a lot of blood. So I passed some other cyclists when I finally bucked up the courage. Well, basically I got so cold I was like, I can't sit here, I've got to keep moving, otherwise I'm gonna freeze to death. But yeah, I must have looked like a right state. And that was yesterday, so straight back on the bike. As I say, Strava thinks I'm the fittest I've ever been, so I'm keeping up with the endurance work. Trying to keep my heart rate below 145, 140. LT1, there or thereabouts. Yeah, we do bounce. First time I've ever come off my bike. So, you know, got the first one in the books early. Which is fine with me. Not long till my first time trial, which is happening the 19th of April. A 10-mile time trial on a pretty flat course, to be honest, so I won't be contending. Contending, is that the word? I won't be anywhere near the front because I don't have a TT bike, but I'll do the best I can. In contention, that's the one. In contention. School's been finished for about 2 days and I'm already losing brain cells. How's your training been going, Chris? Have you been doing more of the mountain goat stuff, or have you managed to get outside? I mean, today is deceptively cold. Like, the sun's out, but it's not very strong, and the wind is quite chilly as well. So still in shock from the fall. What fall did you have? Are you talking about me or you? You haven't come off your bike as well, have you? Or are you talking about my my lack of grammar? I don't even know. I think this is going to be my last week of endurance building, and then I'm going to get into some polarized training. So not done a lot of training. Oh, that sucks. I've managed to sort of keep my volume at the same amount. If not, I think I've done a bit more. But it's been all endurance, all other than a few efforts up some hills for fun. I've been a good boy, Chris, and I've kept my heart rate low. You know, because I think I rushed it a bit after getting COVID. And that last ZRL race really punished me. So I took a step back, just focused on LT1. Oh, mate, my hand is really uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, but where that cut is, it's right in the seam. Like right there where my little finger is. And it keeps opening up every time I do something with my hand. How's it going, Lee? I was just talking about you. How's your training been going, buddy? I think you had a trip to the velodrome booked in, didn't you? So how did that go? Yeah, definitely. That's the thing where on Zwift, I can't spend more than, I can't spend more than an hour on Zwift. I just get so bored, really. But outdoors, I spend 2 hours easy, which I think is why my fitness has improved. According to Strava. I've not tested it yet, but oh. Hang on, I can't see your message there, Lee. Didn't fall off, didn't break anything, so good session. There we go. That's the second time you've done it, so you're home and away now. When's the next time you're booked in? Oof. It's really awkward cycling without putting pressure on one of your hands. I think this is the first time I've ever done every race in a series. If I finish this, that is. Did all the long routes. Getting all that XP. Not that it matters now anyway, because the Zwifting season is over. Oh. Oh, nice. God, that must be a bit daunting. I'm nervous to do a bloody time trial, let alone racing in a velodrome. Good for you though, that's going to be sick. How do you think your fitness is going to be going into that? Think you'll be alright, or... I mean, you were knocking on the door of the next category at the end of ZRL, so I've got faith. Slow and steady wins the race. Very daunting, yeah, I bet. Yeah, it sounds like a roller coaster or something. That's what I'd imagine it to be like. At least you don't have to worry about steering. I suppose you don't steer, do you? You just lean. Yeah, rather you than me, Lee, I tell you. Yeah, I'm not really racing it though. Still just trying to focus on my endurance. Hopefully it's done in less than 2 hours, what do you reckon? Hour and a half, 2 hours? I'm pretty sure it's just up the KOM and then it's you know, downhill or flat, isn't it? You're just providing the watts at the back. So what kind of racing do you want to do then? Is it like short ones or long ones? I mean, I know it's velodrome, so they can't be that long, but you know what I mean. 2 laps? 10 laps? I don't really know. I mean, it was my favourite thing to watch during the Commonwealth Games. Oh, nice. So 1,000 meters, is that 5 laps, is it? And pursuit is the one where you start. You both start at different sides of the track, and it's who gets round the fastest. You know? Is that the one? As I say, I'm not really. I don't get the opportunity to watch that much track cycling. Oh, nice. I suppose that one is a little bit less dangerous because you're not likely to cross paths with your opponent, if you know what I mean. Unless you're really destroying them or you're getting destroyed. So there's no overtaking or anything. Drafting and all that. I've not done this, well, I must have done the Epic KOM this way because I've got a time for it, but I don't remember it. That's alright. He'll just carry you along then, hopefully. Give you something to work towards. What's his sort of fitness levels like then? Do you know, like, watts per kilogram wise? I suppose it doesn't really matter if you're doing 1,000 meters what your FTP is. It's probably a VO2 machine. Ouch. Oh my god. So he's a veteran. Does he cycle for like the forces or? Damn. That's crazy. He was a sergeant in the army, so he shouts a lot. Yeah, I bet. I bet he's a very demanding pilot. God, I can just imagine that. It's hard enough cycling on Zwift, let alone having someone in front of you bloody shouting at you. I suppose at least you're behind him, because if you were in front, he'd be able to see you slacking off as you're just coasting around. He did is that Invictus Games? Oh, nice. Sounds like a machine. It's good that you've got someone with experience though, because yeah, it's a lot of faith to put in someone that might not know what they're doing. I'd be bloody useless. Can barely keep myself on the bike, let alone someone else. I feel like I should have put the Cannondale on. Oh well, my mistake. I've not done the Epic KOM much. I usually do the old Alp de Zwift. I've done Alp de Zwift, you know, tens of times, but Epic KOM, as you can see, I've not done it many times. And I've never actually gone all the way up the Von 2 either. At least it's all paved. Not like in bloody Mercury Islands, where you're going about 3 miles an hour uphill. What does that sign say? Willkommen. Willkommen. Does that mean welcome? I assume so. Willkommen. Unless you go to the radio tower. Yeah, that's the proper steep bit, isn't it? At least you get to come down faster. Have you done this route as well, Lee, or what am I supposed to expect at the end of the Epic KOM? Is it downhill and then flat, or have we got like more hills? Ouch. Oh, nice. Little feather. Gonna keep hold of my feather. I reckon it's gonna get steeper up here. It's not that much further up the hill, to be honest, Chris. From what I remember, it's just brutal, because you basically, you think you've finished, you start going downhill, and then you kick back up again, and it's like, yeah, ridiculous percentage, like 15% or something. Oh yeah, I know, I remember now. Do you get anything for doing all of the tour of Watopia? Not that I need anything, but, you know. Chris, you're the only person I know that looks out for a bloody radio tower finish. There's a reason you've never heard of it. It's because everyone avoids it. And other than Ed Laverack. I don't really know, Chris, but yeah, you can see it. You can see it on the map when I get to the top. There's like a side road, and you just go up a really steep hill, go round the radio tower, and then come back down. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. I'm sure the I can't remember what it's called now. Climbing goats, whatever it is. Band of goats, whatever that climbing group is. I'm sure they'll do it at some point. The Band of Goats. I don't think I could be part of a group called the Band of Goats. God, someone's already finished, look. Kim did it in 16 minutes. Bloody hell. That's ridiculous. Let's see who finishes it next. But that is mighty impressive. 9.5 kilometers in 16 minutes. That's quite impressive for being on the bloody flat, let alone on a 4% average climb. Yeah, this is a bit easier than Alpe de Zwift. It's a good point, actually. When someone asks me about Alpe de Zwift, I'll recommend doing this one first. I'm good, mate, I'm good. Just cuts and bruises. Nothing major. Just my ego. Damaged. I did get a personal best up the hill though, so it was worth it. I got the 6th fastest time this year, so hopefully, you know, with some better weather in the summer, I can get close to the top. The bike's beautiful. It's amazing, but yeah, I damaged the grip tape a little bit. Took a chunk out of the grip tape, and the shifter got a few scratches on it, but yeah, Lee, I did fall off yesterday. It's totaled, yeah. Not quite. It's oh look, there's the next one. 1827, 1836. Good effort from that front group. Oh, I see a backpedaler in there. Oh, that's close though. Close, Chris. Oh, it was all right, Lee. It was quite bloody. I had a cut on my hand and my leg are quite deep, but it's only superficial. Nothing. Some is it TCP, THP, whatever it's called. Can't solve. Basically, I was going up a climb, and as I got to the top, I was at the top of the hill, and all the trees that were sheltering the road just stopped, and big gust of wind just as I went past the final tree just took me out. Well, it took my bike out from under me, really. I basically landed like straight down. Well, it felt like I did. I probably did lean to the left a little bit, but Tomcat beds, yeah. Good old TCP, that old school. I haven't had TCP in years, but yeah. And the reason I got cut up so much, one, I don't have any gloves, so I'm going to order some tonight, because if I had gloves on, I'd only have a couple scratches on my leg, which is fine. But where I didn't have gloves on, I just chewed up my hands, basically, which is uncomfortable. It's just a nuisance. It's not painful, it's just a nuisance. But yeah, lesson learned. I swear they only changed the pack dynamics a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't seem any different to me. Although I have just been going uphill the whole time. I don't really know anything about it, to be honest. I've not been on top of Zwift the last couple of weeks. I've not had time to watch any YouTube. Just been working like a dog, basically. And ferrying my father around everywhere. I had to pick him up from the hospital, and what should have taken us 25 minutes to get home took us about 3.5 hours, because it was on that stormy, what day was it? Friday night, and a tree came down, and I couldn't get off the ferry because there was nowhere for the cars to go, so we had to sit there. It was really bloody annoying. Yeah, but 3.5 hours where I live is like days, because we don't get traffic. Like we don't we don't have enough of a population. You know, where I live, if you're sat behind a car for more than 10 minutes, that's an outrageous amount of traffic. Shane Miller will make a video. Yeah, I'll wait until he puts a video out. He always knows what he's talking about. He's the Zwift and turbo training god. I'm hoping we can find a good bunch to roll to the finish with. Otherwise it's going to take a bloody long time. How's your training been going? Yeah. Have you stayed consistent this week, or you been slacking off? Oh, nice. What kind of training are you into at the minute? Or what are you working on? Ouch! That did hurt. VO2 yesterday. Slowly getting my weekly volume up and up. What's your volume at the minute, hours wise? If you're in the UK, I suppose it's easier to get the volume in just because we've got so much more sunlight now. I mean, what time is it now? 6:30? And it's still plenty bright enough to get out on your bike. 12 hours a week. Yeah, you can do some good damage with 12 hours a week. So how many days do you ride then? Do you do 5 days on, 2 days off? Oh, that's amazing, mate. Keep it up, and you'll be strong as hell for next year's Zwift season. I'd love to do 12-hour week, but I just do not have the schedule for it. I know, Lee, it's amazing, isn't it? It just comes around so quickly as soon as the clocks change. Yeah, fair enough. I used to do it like that when I was bodybuilding. I used to just listen to my body. It won't be long until we've got, you know, sundown at 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. I only plan a couple of days ahead. Yeah, that's the way to be, isn't it? Unless you're a bloody professional. But you're, you know, keep it simple. As long as you know when you can cycle, I suppose that's the only thing, isn't it? Making time for it. I've been making time to cycle, I've just not been making time to make videos, unfortunately. But that's all going to change. Got some time off from uni this week, so I'm going to try and do a vlog or two. Oh, aren't we all? Yeah. I don't think anyone in the chat would disagree. Everyone loves a bit of progression. I just like seeing my Strava fitness go up. Interestingly, Strava doesn't really enjoy it when I do Zwift races. If I do long Zwift races like this, it will say that I've gained fitness, but if I do like a short race, less than 40 minutes, Strava is not interested, which I thought was good. Yeah, that's good. Mine's at 54, but it's that whole Strava fitness thing, the number is only relative to you. Like, I've seen people that are at like 300. I don't know how they use like track it, but doesn't matter, does it? It's all good fun. Yes, Chris, that's what I'm after as well. As I said, I got the sick fastest time just before I fell off my bike, but I wasn't even going for it, really. You know, I was still trying to do endurance, so I was in my lowest gear, stood up the whole way, basically just spinning enough to keep moving. And I managed to knock about 4 minutes off my previous PB, so that's the power of being over 10 kilos lighter and a bike that's 4 kilos lighter. I know, it's pretty big gains, that. I mean, last year when I did that same hill, I never actually did the whole hill. I used to get off and stop because it was just, I didn't, well, to be fair, the gears on this bike, I was basically doing 40 RPM from the bottom, which is not ideal. Doing 40 RPM for 10 minutes. But the canyon just glides up there. You can feel the difference in the power transfer, big time. Well, I did it in 6 minutes, and that was at an average of 15 kilometers an hour. So it's about 110 meters elevation. It definitely does, Chris. I'm looking forward to the hill climbing season, to be honest. That's what I've always been aiming for, is to I mean, it'd be awesome to get to the hill climbing national championships. I just feel like it's the safest way to race, because you're not going that fast because you're going uphill, and the efforts are only, you know, less than 20 minutes. So, don't know, I just think it's a lot safer than road racing. Because, like, the only thing that I'm worried about is other people. Like if I'm in a road race, I know I'd put safety first, but I know that other people won't, and they'll take silly risks that will put, you know, me and other people in danger, and I don't want to be a part of that, really. But I'll see. If I'm proven otherwise, then I might take part, but hill climb is the race of truth. Well, it's you versus the hill, isn't it? It's a time trial. But the flat time trials are still a bit sketchy because you're doing it on open roads. You know, if you're bombing it at 40 kilometers an hour and a car tries to overtake you, you know, I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I'm doing a time trial on the 19th. The 19th of this month, so we'll see how it goes. Of course, I'll make a YouTube video for it. My local climb takes me 7 minutes, 24 seconds. 3 years ago, it was about 11 minutes. That's good progression, that. What's the goal for this summer? It's got to be sub 7, surely. Yeah, Chicago is pan flat, isn't it? Well, most of America is pretty much pan flat. Yeah. So it's just a bowl, basically. Chicago has brutal winters, doesn't it? So you've probably been on the turbo for months, I'd imagine. Yeah. So what do you do in the summer then? 'Cause you're probably doing hundreds of kilometers if it's dead flat. I mean, I did my normal 50-kilometer loop yesterday, and I still managed to rack up 600, 700 meters of climbing. Oh, fair enough. So you'll be finding out this summer then. What took you to Chicago? Work? Summer I was in Vancouver. So outdoor was awesome. Yeah, I'd like to go to Vancouver. Just randomly picked Chicago after getting dumped. Oh God. Sorry about that, mate. Probably shouldn't have brought that up, but live and you learn. Good for you. Starting new, starting fresh. You should have picked somewhere with some hills though. No, I think Chicago's pretty trendy, isn't it? Oh. Oh, nice. Where doesn't Eric live in Vancouver, or am I making that up? Don't get dropped cycling. I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. Don't know where he's from, but like in Canada though. He's East Canada. Oh, okay. That doesn't really. I'm not 100% on my Canadian geography. We're almost at the top. Chris, look out for the radio tower. I can tell my fitness is coming back because my zone 2 heart rate is 125. When I was ill, it was, 140 constantly. I won't tell him you said that. Wait, if I click the map, hang on. Yeah, can you see there where my cursor is? I don't know if you can see my cursor actually. You can just see it. There's like a left turning. You go up there and it takes you to the top and you do like a loop. Yeah, very true. I didn't think about that, Lee, but yeah, I was struggling, wasn't I, a bit? Problem was I didn't want to miss the end of the ZRL season because we all worked so hard, didn't we, over Christmas and just over winter really. We all worked really hard for our ZRL teams and I wanted to see it through, so I probably did ruin my fitness a little bit, but fitness comes and goes. This might be a bit too much information, but there is some yellowy pus coming out of my hand. Look away now if you don't want to see it. I'm sure it's just sweat. Nothing wrong with some good bacteria. Improve the immune system. Yeah, there's the radio tower. Just ahead of me there, Chris, you can see. It's a bloody steep old climb. At least I haven't got any splinters like you did, Lee. I was picking gravel out of my leg for a couple minutes though. Little bump in the road, yeah, exactly. I just think of it as you get quicker to the bottom if you start from the very top. Oh, I would have gone up there, Chris, you know me. I don't leave anything on the table. I've got to get this badge though. Tomorrow I'm getting this bike off the turbo because I don't know how many hours I put in on this bike over winter, but it is disgusting. Covered in sweat. All the nuts and bolts are rusted out. Gross. I dread to think what my handlebars look like under this tape. I just hit 100 kilometers an hour down the radio tower. Very nice. I should probably give that a go. Try and get the badge. Ah, that didn't work. I think I missed my opportunity. Yeah, I was going for the 100. I did it once, but Zwift didn't give me the badge. See you later, Lee. Thanks for stopping by. I like hearing about your exploits at the velodrome. Have a good ride yourself. I don't know when the best time is to do it, to be honest. Probably not when I did it. Oh well. I probably need the Tron bike, not this thing. I'll see you again, Lee. I'm sure I'll be streaming again this week at some point. I'll try and give you guys some notice. Unlike today where I just randomly decide I'm going to jump on Zwift. That wasn't a bad sprint though. What did I get up to there? 1300 watts? $14 watts per kilo. Yeah, I'll take that. Take that any day. It's got to be more. Oh no, yeah, 14 is probably about right actually. 75 kilos. Not bad, not bad considering all I've been doing is endurance stuff. I need to get in the gym. God, don't have time for that. Hopefully I'll be cycling to and from work in the summer, so that'll boost my my weekly volume by, 2 hours a day. Yeah, I'm 75 kilos. The lowest I got to was 73.8 or something like that. That was for ZRL. But since COVID, I've kind of, I've just been eating a bit of chocolate, I reckon. 73.8 was me this morning. Wow, we're like two peas in a pod. It's really annoying because my scale says that my fat-free body weight is like 67 kilos. But it's annoying because it changes every time I weigh myself. So it's like, it clearly has no idea. It's just pulling that number out of thin air. Oh. I'd like to get down to 73 again for the summer. Although, to be honest, my girlfriend is 49 kilos. Wow. Get her on the outdoor Zwift. She'll fly up there. Yeah, I'm not surprised. 100 watts. She'll be flying. Yeah, probably. That's still not a bad start in FTP. 1.5 watts per kilo nearly. Oh, that downhill didn't last long enough. Wanted some extra rest. Next 10 minutes is mostly downhill. That's what we like to hear. Get that speed up to 40 k's an hour. Oh yeah. I think the front pack came past me a minute ago. Hello? Okay, I'm on my bike, but I'll come down and let you in. Well, you can start it. Alright, love you. Oh! They got a point to prove. Some of us are out here working on our zone 1, zone 2. Some people be doing FTP the whole way. How's it going, Brian? Welcome to the channel. You've come at a good time because I've not made any videos for a while. But usually I'm pumping out videos and live streams every week. But yeah, we're just about to get into the IRL cycling season, I suppose. Are you a Zwifter, Brian, or are you an outdoor cyclist? I suppose you'd just be a normal cyclist. Zwifters are a unique bunch. Oh, thank God for that. I thought you said we were going downhill for 10 minutes. That was about 2. Mostly downhill. Alright, I'll let you off then. I suppose minus 1%, that counts. I like that they've given us the mountain bike. It means that we're not going to be stuck going 20 kilometers an hour. Look out for the sloth. Where's the sloth? It's not going to cross the road, is it? It's in the trees. I'm looking for a sloth in the trees, Brian. Everyone keep your eyes peeled. Oh, nice, Brian. I think a lot of runners turn to Zwift. Yeah, you can turn the top tip. You can turn the trainer difficulty down, which means you're not putting as much strain on your knees anyway. But yeah, Zwift is great if you're trying to, you know, keep your fitness going until you recover. To be honest, Brian, just get anyone. Just get on Zwift. You can spend ages looking for the right one. You know, just find, like, I've never bought a new one, but you can't really go wrong with any of the name brands, really. I mean, the Zwift Hub from Zwift themselves, that's pretty good. It's pretty cheap. Oh, I saw him. I just caught him there. What a legend. I love a sloth. I think if I was reincarnated, I'd probably be reincarnated as a sloth. I feel like one some days. Yeah, I can see a lot of Wahoo kicker suggestions. You can't really go wrong with a Wahoo product. I'm wearing one right now. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Don't get a wheel-on trainer, because you'll just get rid of it. A wheel-on trainer is when you just put your bike onto, you know, the product, and it makes so much noise. And they're terrible. It's called a direct drive trainer. If you've done any research, you'll know the difference, but they're night and day better, Brian. Don't get suckered into the cheaper products because they just suck. They're super loud, inefficient, inaccurate, and they just chew up your tires and leave rubber sprayed against your wall. Yeah, well said, Chris. You know, at one point they were the go-to, but now, with the way the technology's going, I ordered a bike computer. That'll be coming tomorrow. The Garmin Edge 530. It's on offer on Amazon right now, £180. So I thought I may as well get it whilst it's cheap, relatively so. The Wahoo customer service is second to none as well. I can second that. I had this, well, not this one, but I had a Garmin heart rate monitor for a year, and then when I went to change the battery, all of the little plastic pins that hold the lid shut, they all snapped off, and it would no longer hold the battery in, which is obviously not ideal. So I sent them a picture to Wahoo customer support, and they said, "Oh, where did you buy it from?" I said, "I got it on Amazon." They said, "No problem. Send us the invoice, so you just download it off Amazon, send them the invoice, and they sent me a new Wahoo ticker, is it? A new heart rate monitor with next day delivery. So yeah, I can't complain at the customer service. I actually called them. I didn't email them. I called them and I spoke to a human being, which is these days quite valuable, I think, because, you know, it's not a nice feeling when you need support and you have to go through a million bloody robot chat rooms and robot answering machines. I just called a number, a human being answered, told me to send him an email. I sent him an email, and then yeah, he sent me a new one for free, so pretty legit. See, Chris, that's why I'm not, obviously I know you're supposed to support your local bike shops and all that, but you can't go wrong with Amazon because the receipts are all stored online, you know, because I've got no hope of finding a bloody paper receipt from a year ago. Does the bike quality make much of a difference? Is there a minimum amount of gears required? No. The bike doesn't matter. You've just got to check the width of your, like, I don't know what you call it. Basically the width of your wheel, just to make sure that it's compatible. But I don't know, is it the chain stays? I don't know what it's called, like the gap between both sides of where the bike meets the wheel. You've got to check that. But most bikes would fit fine, I'd say, unless you've got some weird bike. But yeah, I rarely change my gears, to be honest, on Zwift. Brian, I'd just do whatever. I'd just get started, basically, because you'll soon find out if it's for you, and then, you know, you can tinker with your setup, with your pain cave, as they're called. What do you mean the emote thing is blocking messages? Oh yeah, do you mean on the side of the screen there? Yeah, because if that's what you're talking about, it's really bloody annoying. Yeah, you're talking about the same thing as me. That is annoying. It's on my phone as well. That's why I have to keep scrolling a little bit so I can see what people are saying. I know, and we wonder why Google's share price is slow at the minute. Right, I need to go let my girlfriend in. I'll be back in a second. I'm coming. I've got the meat. I've got the meat, so don't worry. Right, I'm back. Yes, Stephen, that's what I'm talking about, the through axle. It's whether it's the through axle or the what do you call it? The quick release. There is different sizes. So if you've got like a mountain bike, they tend to have a wider skewer. That's why I think, to be honest, Brian, I'd recommend the Zwift Hub because it's the most user friendly. Like they've made, if you type in Zwift Hub on YouTube, there's a million videos about it, and Zwift has made it super easy to set it up. They give you all the instructions, all the parts you need. You don't have to get your own cassette. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can go wrong with the Zwift Hub, to be honest. Need a special adapter if you get a TCR. That's quite a unique setup though. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Once you set it up once, you know how to do it, so yeah, GP Llama's good. DC Rainmaker good. I watched him a lot to figure out which GoPro to get. There we go. We're getting all the facts in the chat now. Just make sure you get a good fan, Brian. This fan sucks. Hello. It sucks. And I overheat. Well, actually, I suppose it blows, doesn't it? Dad joke. But, yeah. I'd say the fan is quite essential. Unless I start like racing in a subcontinent, I'm probably going to be acclimatized from being in this room. No, Chris, I've got the Hoover just blowing air away from me. I find that to be more effective. Yeah, it's true. We have just thrown a lot of information at Brian. Poor Brian. That's what I said from the start though, didn't I? I did say, just get the first one you see. Problem solved. You're welcome, Brian. Everyone, thank you for helping. But the longer you leave it, the less time you spend exploring Zwift. It is endless, and that goes for the whole of the cycling industry, unfortunately. That's why I put off buying a road bike for so long, because I was just constantly researching and researching. In the end, I just bought a bloody bike, you know. Oh. This hour has gone by very quickly. I can attribute that to the fact that I'm talking. If I was sat here not live streaming, I'd be bored stiff. I've got the attention span of a gnat, unfortunately, which makes Zone 2 quite difficult. Racing, fine, because I can concentrate on the racing, but Zone 2, it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, that is pretty weird actually. that you can do that. But I suppose it makes your training a lot easier. I've always been like that though. Like, I've always got to be doing something. I don't ever really relax. I'm always doing something. I suppose this is relaxing to me, you know? This is what I find fun. But I was never that kid that could just sit and sunbathe. I always wanted to play a sport or do something weird, climb a cliff. That's a story for another day, I think. Well, we're not getting much draft, are we? We're not exactly trying these new group dynamics. What do we reckon then? 14 kilometers left. Let's put some bets in the chat. Not bets, but put some guesses in the chat. What our estimated time, or elapsed time, will be when we cross the line. I reckon 11:34. Or 1 hour 34 to a normal human being. Got to get back to work. No worries, mate. Work hard, play hard, as they say. 1:38. Ooh, interesting. You think I might have overestimated? I'm going to be doing VO2 max all the way to the end then, just to prove you wrong. Pretty sure it's uphill now, isn't it? Or have we done most of the climbing? Oh, you've already been?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I just went straight up.
Oh, I thought you were going to Tesco.
No, I just went straight for the Sainsbury's.
I've probably got 25 minutes left, so...
Well, I'm going to start now.
Okay,
Because I'm starving.
That's cool. Just cook all of it, and then I'll cook my steak.
So you don't need to do your steak, but I'll cut up your veg and stuff ready.
Cool. What? Did you get any lettuce or anything?
Sorry,
Good.
it was fine yesterday.
Okay, cool. See ya.
Thanks, Rosie.
Thank you. How was Moser? What did you talk about? Alright. Oh. Not long left now. Hopefully we'll speed up a bit once we get over this hill. quite a nice course this, but problem is the Epic KOM just strung out, you know, everyone. So I've not got a group, which has just slowed me down big time, unfortunately. But that's fine. Oh. Hey Brian, how's it going, buddy? How was your cycling journey? Your cycling training? How's that been going? Thank you for welcoming me back. I've been a little bit inactive. I've been bloody busy. How's your new grandchild? Hopefully she's doing good. I'm pretty sure it was a she. Was it a she? They. Hopefully they're doing great. Still inside here. Got another couple of centimeters of snow today. Oh, good for your snowshoeing. Not so good for your cycling. The new one is a boy. The older one is a girl. Well, it was a 50-50, Bill. Hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably sick to death of it. Not long until you'll be out on the roads and on the lakes, is it? With your canoeing, is it a lake or is it a river? Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Bill. Oh, my hand is getting a bit sore just because I'm gripping the handlebar in a different way than normal. So my body's a bit confused. We're getting some serious pussage from the hand. That's okay though. I'll wash that off when I go in the shower in a minute. Beautiful stuff. Canoeing lakes and rivers. Take a trip with my wife early May. Whitewater River trip with my son late May. Oh, nice. That sounds amazing. We don't have anything like that where I live, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, I wiped out yesterday, Bill. Just scuffed up my hands and my leg, my left leg. But it's not too bad. They're only superficial wounds. If I was wearing gloves, I would have been fine, but I wasn't, which meant I was just dripping everywhere. Yeah, the bike's fine. The handlebar tape is a little bit scuffed, and one of the shifters has a few little nicks on it, but Black Sharpie will sort that out. I protected the bike, you'll be glad to know. Put my body on the line. Here we go, we're picking up some speed now. It just makes it awkward, like, because where I'm cut on my hand, it's right in the seam between the pads of on your hand, so it, you know, it just keeps opening up every time I move. But it's fine. I'm a big boy. I didn't even flinch when I put TCP on it. Yeah, I know. That jungle is a drag, isn't it? It's up there with the worst of them. I mean, Mercuri's up there as well, obviously. But that jungle is a, yeah, pain in my backside. At least they kindly put me on a mountain bike, so I was a bit quicker. I literally, Bill, we're cut from the same cloth. I just said that. They did us a solid there. They would have been nicer if they put us all on a Cannondale Super 6 Evo at the bottom of the Epic KOM. They forgot to do that one. Have you managed to do this course, Bill, or are you actually, I highly doubt you've done this, because it's only come out today, hasn't it? Stage 5, the final stage. I think this is the first time I've managed to do every stage of a Zwift event, which is pretty cool. Hopefully I get lots of XP. What's the next event? I saw something about cobbles. I take it that's for Roubaix that's coming up, or Flanders. I can't remember which one it is. I think we've already had Flanders. I did the Grand Fondo yesterday while I watched the Tour of Flanders. There was no bike change. I got in a good group. Ended up 108 kilometers. Wow. Good effort, Bill. Jesus, Bill's a machine. I think in the first week I did all 3, didn't I? But yeah, I slowly eased off. I thought I'd let you do them all for me. What level are you now then on Zwift, Bill? You must be near the top. All that XP. How was the Tour of Flanders as well? I can't. Who won it? I started watching the highlights. Was it Remco? I don't know. I saw Remco what do you call him? Mathieu van der Poel and Tadej Pogačar. They caught the front group, but I didn't actually watch the finish. I'm only level 25. You won't be level 25 for long, Bill. You'll be overtaking me soon. Nice. Oh, 35, not... Fair enough. Yeah, 35 sounds about more realistic. How long till you get the flaming socks? Is that level 45 or 55? I can't remember. Tadej Pogačar won Flanders. Damn, I would have had my money on Van der Poel. I would have had my money on Van der Poel winning it on the sprint at the end. So Pogačar must have broke away, did he? I wouldn't have thought Pogačar could beat him on a sprint, so he must have attacked on the second to last hill, or the last hill, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have to watch it now, aren't I? You've got me all psyched up to watch it, Bill. You should be a commentator. Pogacar went clear on the last 2 climbs. Oh, interesting. Broke away to avoid a sprint. Yeah, I did hear the commentators saying that early doors, didn't they? But the Pogacar and Van der Poel had to do quite a lot of work to catch the front group, didn't they? It's going to be a good Tour de France, isn't it? Can't wait. I'm really getting into my watching the cycling. I mean, I only watch the highlights, but I do enjoy it. The tactics, and I think the thing about cycling is there's so many names that there's a bit of a barrier to entry to watching it because you don't understand what's going on. But if you sort of sit through it, you know, watch a couple races, like properly watch it, listen to the names and stuff, you learn pretty quickly what's going on, you know. But once you get over that first sort of initial period of confusion, it's really interesting stuff. Oh, nice. I'm not a fan of cobbles though, can't lie. I'm having throwbacks to Richmond in the ZRL. That was one of my better results, but bloody nearly died. Yeah, definitely, Bill. Of course. Really interesting stuff, isn't it? It just amazes me, the amount of volume they do. You know, they cycle in each of these events, they do between 500 and 1,000 kilometers with about 2,000 meters of elevation. You know, I mean 2,000 meters in each race. It's bloody bonkers, isn't it? And the bike handling, and yeah, it's nuts. Bloody cool. I think cyclists are some of the best athletes, to be honest. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a fitter human being. You know, obviously you've got to define what fitness is, but in a pro peloton, you've got all the different types of fitness. You've got people that are fit for 5 minutes, 1 minute, and then people that are fit for a week of hard activity, which is just, you know, your GCs, which is just madness. There's no other sport like it. I suppose that's why we're all here. We all can sort of relate to some aspect of the pro peloton, you know. I mean, there's a lot of amateurs that can kick out the same watts as a pro can in a sprint. They just can't do it after cycling 160 kilometers. You know, like it feels tangible to be compared to a pro cyclist, but couldn't be furthest from the truth. It's crazy, isn't it, how they can be the fittest people on the planet, like you say, Chris, but then they can just fall off the planet, you know, like Froome. He was a household name. I mean, the only exception is probably Bradley Wiggins. You know, they sort of have a fall from grace, don't they? They go from being household names to nobody talks about them anymore. But at one point, they were the fittest human being on the planet. Yeah, he was he did like to crash, didn't he, old Froome? He used to push himself to the limit. The one that sticks out for me was that he was really young, and he was in that time trial, and he just cycles down the ramp and crashes into someone straight away, like within about 20 seconds of the race start or the time trial starting. He goes down the ramp. I can't remember if he takes a wrong turn, and there's just like a photographer or an official standing in the middle of the road, and he just smashes into him. It was bonkers. He was quite young, to be fair, at the time. But what was it that I can't remember what race it was. It was probably in the Tour de France, where he did that insane descent, and he was like sat on the top tube and pedaling at the same time, going down this descent, and it was scary to watch. Like, has your hairs on your arms stand up. He's doing like, 70, 80 kilometers an hour down this bloody hill. It was nuts. Bill came 41st in Cat C in Race London. Oh, that's decent, Bill. You'll definitely improve, because if it's a different ball game, isn't it? If you're going for GC position, Bill, doesn't really matter where you finish in the actual race. You just need to be on the front, pulling everyone along. Not like me, who sits in the draft and tries to win the final sprint. Yeah, definitely, Bill. That's good stuff, though. Way better than I've ever got. The crash I'm on about, he wasn't holding the bars. Wind took his wheel and into a wall at 30 kilometers an hour. That's nasty. Can happen to anyone. I mean, it happened to me yesterday, so... But luckily I was going about 10 kilometers an hour, not 30. Exactly, Bill. But that's pretty good. C-Cat, it's quite a competitive category, that, It's not like in the Ds where people don't really know what they're doing. The Cs are quite switched on. Oh, I can smell dinner cooking. We're having homemade kebabs. Broke his leg, fractured his hip, and a few other injuries. Yeah, it's hard to come back from something like that. Just the rehab alone. He's still going though, isn't he? Old Froome, he still rides for... Who is it? It's not UAE, is it? The 60-plus guy who beat me was second overall. Blimey. You need to add him on Zwift so you can join the same races as him. So that he can pull you along. Israel Premier Tech, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah, I always mix the two up. I don't know why. Yeah, you can work on that though, Bill. You know, you can sort of I don't know what you'd do really. If you struggle on the hills, that definitely makes the GC harder. But again, it gives you something to aim for, doesn't it? That's all we're here for. Just trying to improve one little bit at a time. It's actually not too hot tonight. I was worried it was going to be warm, but it's not too bad. I suppose I am only doing zone 1 and 2, but I've had the fan on low. My shoulder seems to be loosened up as well, which is nice. My shoulder was giving me a bit of trouble today, but that's probably because I've been sat at my desk working rather than moving it around. Best way to recover from an injury, I reckon, is just some light movement. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. Don't try and fix your broken collarbone with light movement. I'm talking about a very minor muscle injury. Well, I'll be damned. I think yeah, it's gonna hit the nail on the head. He said 1 hour 38 minutes. I reckon he's gonna have it spot on somehow. Yeah. Obviously, you just got to listen to your body, Ruben, at the end of the day. Oh, quads are a bit sore and all. Bill, if you keep cycling over the summer, you'll be in the B's one day, my boy. That'll be bloody impressive. I doubt there's many over 60s in the B's. You'd be in the minority there against those young'uns. Oh, had to give him a little shakedown. Wow, I did all that and got a bloody cap. The B's is tough, yeah, it definitely is. It can beat you down. Can the old B's. Right. Hey, we've got a 5-second power PB. Course you were, Chris, course you were. You should have said it at the time. Look at that. 5-second power PB. I'll take it. I'll take it. How many calories do we burn? Oh, almost 1,000. That's not a bad day's work, that. 1353 maximum watts. What is that in watts per kilo? 1353 divided by 75. 18 watts per kilo. Peak power. I'll take that any day of the week. No, I couldn't hear you from here, Chris. quite a few 60s in the Bs. My GC times would have put me 20th in the B 60 plus. Wow, that's decent. You should have done it in the Bs then, Chris. Bill. 13:53. I know. I'm trying to get to that 1400. I just don't know. Maybe I need to play around with my cadence. Bang. Give Zwift some feedback, why not? Maybe I need to change my trainer difficulty and try and hit 1400 watts. Maybe that'll be a video for this week. Do a Rocky Balboa training montage and then hit 1400 watts. Right. I'm off to have dinner now. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Chris, Ruben, Bill, Lee, but he's long gone. Ya's gone. Brian, thanks for joining us. I don't know if you're still here. Zwift, thank you for joining. Stephen, thank you for joining. I doubt you're still here, but I appreciate all of you for coming back. Yeah, I definitely need a shower. I need to get this pus off my hand. Thanks, Chris. See you later, Bill. I'll catch you guys again in the week. And I'm definitely going to make a YouTube video this week. Hold me to that, because I've not been doing it enough. But yeah, see you later.